it's really difficult to make one video on one comment. On TikTok or on Instagram, you can make one video about the comment, just respond to the comment, and you can answer the person's question quickly. It's like a little soundbite for them.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Adam Nessum Show. Today, I have another awesome guest. Many of you will probably recognize him from TikTok. We have Farhan, who is a third-year medical student in Southern California. He's the creator of MadMedicine, an online platform that has over 450,000 followers on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram together. So thanks so much for joining. Looking forward to talking with you.
Thank you for having me, Adam. Sorry, I muted it. There's a plane just flying by.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds good. No problem. We'll let that pass. So awesome. So can you tell me, how did the whole MadMedicine get started? I know we were just talking off air. You were saying you actually started on YouTube. I only found you and we connected via TikTok originally. So can you walk me through how you built this brand and what that journey's been like?
Yeah, so I started MadMedicine kind of as a joke. My friends and I, we had gotten into medical school, and we were learning about in vitro fertilization and, the techniques that go through. This is our first year of medical school, and it was just mind-blowing for us to learn how you could do in vitro fertilization, but just the specifics of it. And one of us was like, man, that's a mad medicine. And right there, like the name clicked, and I was like, you know what? This is my name. I like this. And I knew I wanted to do something other than just medicine.
Right.
I like to make videos. I like to be creative. It's kind of an outlet. So yeah, that's how MadMedicine started. It was initially a YouTube video like show, right? Like it was me vlogging and things like that. And over the years, it changed from vlogging to kind of an educational platform because I like to teach. I like to, give information that's something that people can digest. And when I started posting videos on TikTok, I saw that people really like my videos for whatever reason. And that led to, the conception of like my TikTok account that grew. And then my YouTube account has been growing along the way. So it's been a very interesting, very fun and interesting ride so far. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And you absolutely blew up on TikTok. How fast was that going from 0 to what you're in like the 300,000 or 400,000 follower count now?
Yeah, it was, and my Princess Flyers over here now. It was pretty fast, dude. I remember I posted one video, and an anti-vax video, and within like 2 days, it was almost at 700,000 or 500,000. And that one video initially boosted me to like 10,000 followers, which I didn't expect. Wow. That was a crazy deal.
I'm sure it struck a nerve, which is why it went so viral.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I got a lot of hate on that video. I got a lot of support too. So my followers came from that video. There were a lot of like older people who had kids. There were a lot of medical professionals who started coming in, a lot of pre-meds. And then I started making more educational type videos, and a few of them did really well. And then from there on, I hit 100,000, I think in about 3 months. And then recently I just broke 425,000 like 2 days ago. So
wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, within a course of about almost less than a year, it's been like phenomenal. It's just been unexpected.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So how has it been now? 400,000 plus followers, you're making videos, people are watching. I think I saw you might have just dropped some merch if I'm not incorrect. Yeah. Or was it a sponsored post? How has it been like with other opportunities presenting themselves because of social media?
It's been really interesting. And it's been really fun. So yeah, I just dropped the merch. I'm trying to get more into like, the business aspect of it just to learn, but I designed it myself. I like to draw, right? Like I like to make things. And in college, I used to mess around with Illustrator and do like just design just for fun. So that was a skill that I just picked up out of hobby. And I was like, you know what, let me apply it. So yeah, I created one of those. I thought it was pretty relevant because we're talking about vaccines nowadays with the COVID vaccine. And And at this time, it was like, just paying homage to my first video. So I
Nice,
had
nice.
to make a little vaccines work thing. But it's been really cool. When I first started, when I was under 100,000, before COVID happened, right at February, I got invited to come out to New York City for a day. And
Oh,
I got
wow.
to work with one of the bigger named test prep companies. And it was really cool because I got to meet the CEO of this company and I got to talk to them, and they flew me out because they saw my TikTok. That's it.
Crazy, right? One video on TikTok and you're flying out
And
to New York.
yeah, and they emailed me and I was like, this can't be it. Like, who am I? But it was just really cool to see that people were interested. So I'm definitely getting into the educational aspect, but I'm also keeping in mind
Mm-hmm.
what opportunities can present themselves. So it's been fun. But
Gotcha. That's awesome. And I don't think you have to limit yourself by any means. I think once you have a personal brand, like my Instagram account used to not be my name, or even really like yours is Mad Medicine, but mine was all things healthcare at the time, but it was me like kind of behind the scenes. And then at a certain point, I realized like if I just switch it to more of a personal brand, different opportunities could arise where I could be doing education stuff, business stuff, like
yeah,
whatever, hope charity stuff, whatever it is. And so it seems like that's kind of like the position you're in and now, and it's been interesting to see how TikTok has accelerated that both for you and myself actually.
yeah, I get a lot of, I get a lot of offers from like, beauty companies, which I don't think I fit into that, 'cause I'm not beautiful.
Well, you're pretty
Uh,
beautiful. I don't know, man.
yeah, but I get those, and there's some things I have to just pass up because I don't feel comfortable doing it. And that's where I'm trying to just figure out my niche
For
and figure
sure, yeah.
what works. So it's a work in progress, but you got to enjoy the process. You can't just want to focus on the end goal of whatever it might be. So I'm just trying to enjoy the process, enjoy the ride as it goes along.
100%. I'd say 2 points on that. First, like I always try to, whenever the supplements or any of that type of stuff is reaching out to me, especially with us being in healthcare and medical students, I'm very cautious with, I usually don't even answer those types of messages. And then secondly, I like what you said about you just kind of enjoying the ride. Like we both started this probably with no expectations of getting opportunities and stuff, more just like a creative outlet.
Yeah,
And it's been, sometimes it feels like you can almost burn out because you have to keep up always producing content once there's people expecting content. But for the most part, I feel like it's been actually a good way for me to balance myself while in medical school, because I feel like my entire identity is not just wrapped up in being a med student. If that makes
yeah,
sense. What do you think about that?
yeah. I have a feeling towards me posting just medical content sometimes because
Mm,
the way I think about it, I'm like, dude, I'm not just a med student, and we
exactly.
have
Yeah.
a whole culture, in medicine that medicine drives your life, and this has been since the '80s
Mm,
when people were expected in residency to work their butts off just to become doctors. Like that culture, even though we've changed certain aspects of medicine, it's still consistent throughout life in our day-to-day lives, throughout time, excuse me. And I don't I don't like that because like I said, I have a creative outlet that I want to use to be creative. Does it relate to medicine? Absolutely. But I try to show the other aspects of my life too,
mm,
by either creating like a 1 minute vlog or something that really has nothing to do with medicine. I'm just tying medicine into it.
mm.
Uh, I love what you said that, you want to be more than just a med student. And dude, we're so much more than that. People just forget that because we're so entrenched in med school, getting into
100%. Yeah.
residency and getting into fellowship and then working as an attending. It's just think about the rest of your life too. It's being well balanced, in my opinion, right? To have other things.
100%. And don't get me wrong, like you should definitely be working your ass off
Yeah,
in residency and whatnot. It's more just, I feel like, and I could be wrong on this. I really try to think about the burnout issue a lot because it's very prevalent
yeah,
within the pre-med, med and doctor space. But it's like, I think when you don't have any other outlets and you feel like the only thing that you are is a doctor or, a pre-med or med student, that's your entire identity. I think that's where you start to burn out because it feels like if you're not doing well on a test or if you're not, or like getting that next position, whether it's the residency you want or the fellowship that you want, then it's like you're not succeeding in life. And that's not really the case. We all know it's extremely competitive. And if you're working hard and you're doing your best to be the best doctor that you can be, or whatever field you're going into in healthcare, then you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, it's like putting all your eggs in one basket. Like you wouldn't do that if you're in finance. You wouldn't put all your money into one stock. You wouldn't do that in general, right? That's something we live by. So why would you want to do that in your life when, like, let's say you just mess up on one test, it can cause your whole self-worth to go down.
Exactly.
Just because you're so invested in just one thing. Whereas, like I like to use this as a way to not burn out. Absolutely. Like it's my personal tool to stay sane in life. But let's say I don't do good in a test, which happens a lot, surprisingly. So I don't feel like, I'm the worst med student in the world. Could be, who knows,
But I don't think so. I have a feeling your patients are gonna love you.
Yeah, it's just it makes everything so much more manageable. It's just a tool to relieve your stress. That's all.
100%. So I did notice though that now you've been doing a lot of videos that are mentoring towards pre-meds and whatnot. How has that experience been? Have you done that in the past, or because you now have this following, and I'm sure you get questions all the time, people reaching out?
It's been really good. It's been really rewarding. I wanted to use my knowledge to help people, right? Like at this point, that's where my TikTok and my YouTube are going. And I started getting asked these questions where people would just wanted to know how to become a doctor. I think that the further away you get from, high school, college students, right, the less we remind ourselves where we were at the time. And I remember thinking to myself, hey, I don't know how to become a doctor. I don't know how I'm going to pay for med school. Like these things were the things I never got answers to until I got into med school. Mm-hmm. And people were asking me the same questions, and it struck a nerve where I was like, you know what? I need to answer these people so that they have clarity. They can find it online, but if they're asking me, if I can just help them right then and there, it's okay. So I started posting the response videos on TikTok, and they're doing pretty good. To be honest with you, at this point, I stopped looking at the numbers so much because
that's good. It's better that way.
Yeah, it's not like a healthy thing. It's fun in the beginning to see the growth. It's fun, where you're like, oh my God, I just broke 1 million views. The other day, I broke like 6 million on one of my videos.
Wow.
Now I'm like, okay, that's great and all, but I can't get so entrenched in that. After a while, you need to look forward. And just now I look at the small comments. Some of my videos have 3 to 4 comments, but they're just saying, thank you. I didn't know this. And you answered one of my questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So it's my channel is going towards just education in general, not advice, right? Not medical advice, not personal advice, not like consulting like you do. It's just towards education, just because I enjoy that. I like it teaching, yeah, it's just my personal.
That's cool. Do you have any certain goals with it? The education, like if you were to look into the future?
I do. What I really want to do with this is, in the long run, I want to create MadMedicine into a platform that you can turn to get like medical knowledge for every like spectrum, from the pre-med who's studying for the MCAT to the third year or the second year who's studying for step 2, step 1. Just making a comprehensive set of videos that are free and accessible. Because one of the things I noticed was going through med school, we spent a lot of money on test prep. Some of it is definitely necessary, like the question banks. I don't question that at all. Those are necessary. They're tried and tested. Other things I noticed, I was like, man, I spent $500 on this video series. I'm already paying thousands of dollars.
Right, for sure.
Loan debt. I'm buying myself a house that I'm investing in myself. And it's not even, something I'm going to be able to use for years from now. And that's where I think I want to turn ultimately my YouTube channel into just an educational platform, and TikTok as a more the general public platform where I can teach common topics that people are struggling with or people don't know about, like diabetes, heart disease, smoking, things like that.
That's cool. And yeah, I agree. We all know boards and beyond pathoma is pretty much medical school. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't really believe that, but I mean, a majority of the learning
Yeah,
is a lot of times I'm learning stuff for the board exams. It's from like a few key resources, and that's
yeah,
that's
that's it. There's
it.
not much out there. There's only one of everything, Adam. Of all the resources I have used in med school, only one of them has been free, and that's online med ed. That's
Mm,
it. That's the only one that provides free content. That's insane if you think about it.
yeah,
So
especially when it's crazy. But I mean, I understand it. Obviously, like I come in from a bias because I have a company that does like a lot of private tutoring, mentorship and whatnot, which is a paid program. But at the same time, and that's why I also work so hard to put out a ton of free content, answer 60 DMs in a single day, responding to student questions, stuff like that, because there is also definitely sometimes an inability to get information, and that's not the best. So I think a platform like yours, that's why like Khan Academy is so great, online meta, these types of things are also necessary.
I think people get, kind of stuck up on like, oh my God, you're charging for something. No, I think that personal mentorship and personal tutoring is valuable in and of itself, right? There's a cost to it no matter what. Like if you're spending the time to help just 5 people that you could be helping thousands of people with, that's very valuable to those 5 people. And, I think there's nothing wrong with charging for that because there's always going to be people out there who have the ability to afford it, who have the means to do it. And there's always going to be people on the other end of the spectrum who don't have the ability, but they want to pursue it. For me, I see like just because I was one of those students who kind of didn't have the ability, who didn't really have the means, but I had to take extra loans out. I just thought to
Right.
myself, you know what? This is something we can change. It's not going to affect the people on this end of the spectrum in any means.
100%.
It's really not. It's just going to help the people who are struggling, and that's what it's meant for. It's not meant to take away
Absolutely.
business.
No, yeah, 100%. The more information that's out there, the better, as long as it's valid information. I think the problem is with sometimes like students looking up things on forums and whatnot is it could be a toxic place. And I'm sure you know the whole SDN, Reddit, that type of stuff is
Oh
where
yeah,
I don't think sometimes there's great advice on there, but other times it's not always the best. But I mean, if you're a go-getter as a student, as I was saying, if you're a go-getter, like you can there's enough information out there. Like if you watch your videos, my videos, I mean, I have like a free ebook that I lay out exactly like, all right, this is what you need to do as a pre-med student with your prereqs. This is what you need to do to prepare for your MCAT, even if you're going to study for it alone, besides having to get a few resources like UWorld,
yeah.
the AMC stuff. Like you can go and use proper study techniques to do this on your own. There's nothing stopping you. So I think for the students that are out there listening to this that feel like if they don't know where to turn, there are resources out there. And then the second half of it is you then putting in the work and on your own. I mean, to be honest, when I like paid for an expensive prep course when I was like studying for the MCAT, for example, I think I would have done better if I just studied for it by myself with the proper study techniques that I use in medical school to study for like step one, where we all know it's like UWorld questions, Anki flashcards, if you like that type of stuff. So I think it's out there and now, and I think as more good content is being made, like what you're making on your YouTube channel, I was taking a look, you have a ton of videos. So you're definitely getting closer to that comprehensive set.
Yeah, we completed a full set for psychiatry, a comprehensive set of videos, a full course for step one psychiatry a little while back. Hematology is being worked on, basics of medicine. So we're trying to cover everything. And then the goal is to work back to MCAT content and give people a comprehensive set of videos for just preparing for the MCAT, because Khan Academy actually stopped.
I know it's like unclear what's going to happen with Khan Academy right now. They made an announcement that they were going to be starting January, but then they were like maybe going back on it. I really don't know what's going to happen with that.
And I'm like, you know what? You definitely need some sort of content for people who can't, who need it. But what you were saying for like the pre-meds, either way, you have to invest in yourself. Whether the investment is money with you buying a course, you still have to invest the time. And time at
100%.
Still money. Like, time is money. It's even. So if you can't afford to spend a lot on a test prep course, spend more time using the resources that are available and master the content. It's definitely doable. There's many of us who have done that.
Yeah. And I think in today's day and age too, there is more of a like access of information. Like I couldn't, when I was pre-med, I was fortunate that at Cornell, we had a good pre-med, like it was a club or it was technically a pre-med fraternity, Phi Delta Epsilon, where
Yeah.
we had mentorship from older pre-meds. So I could go to them for questions. But if without them, and I know students that like didn't have that type of help, it was hard to figure out what the right answers were and like what to do and next steps. Now, like people DM me all day, every day. I'm sure you get the same. So you can actually reach out to people and seek mentorship online, watch these like videos on TikTok, Instagram that like wasn't really a thing, at least from my knowledge, when I was a pre-med student.
It
So
wasn't a thing.
so in
This is
that
new,
regard,
right?
yeah, in that regard, I think that's definitely a benefit for
I
social
like this
media.
system better because when we were pre-meds, YouTube was kind of where a lot of the medical students started out,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were pre-meds. And it's really difficult to interact with someone on YouTube because,
Right. You
like
can't like private message them.
can't you and the other thing is if you leave a comment, it's really difficult to make one video on one comment. On TikTok or on Instagram, you can make one video about the comment, just respond to the comment, and you can answer the person's question quickly. It's like a little soundbite for them. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I like it because you can answer more people, you can get more information out there. So this is my personal, love for the platforms we're using now compared to before.
100%. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I know, like, there's always the up and down. Is TikTok going away or not? It seems like at this point, it's probably not going fully away.
We all need
But
some
we'll see.
anti-anxiety medication. We need some, SSRI, benzos, just to get us through this bumpy ride.
So, do you have a team helping you make this content? Because I noticed you were saying we before,
I use we as like a collective.
like our organization.
Yeah.
Got it. But
Because
it's always you making the videos.
it's 99% me. Just because my wife helps out, but she has her own business and she works on the side too. So
Oh wow.
sometimes she wants to, but she's just so stuck with like, her requirements. It's pretty much me. It's really fun. It's really challenging, but I'll say this, because I started this myself and because I put in so many hundreds of hours in both the TikTok stuff and the YouTube stuff, I've now been able to streamline my process. Like
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm doing a lot. Like I know I'm doing a lot with balancing school and all this content, and then I'm doing research. I'm applying. Hopefully, I'm gonna put this out in the universe. I'm applying for a grant that'll allow me to do research on TikTok. Like on
Interesting.
yeah, it's a really cool opportunity. So that adds like another thing onto my plate. But realistically, it's because I've been doing this for a quick minute that I've been able to streamline my process. I've been able to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and what I can cut out.
Right. What have you found works for that type of process? I'm just asking selfishly now because I need to streamline my TikTok content process.
So what I found was not overthinking it, man. Like the things I used to do before. If you've seen some of my videos, right? If you've seen some of my TikTok vlogs, you might have noticed I haven't been posting them anymore because I have this really nice camera and it has
your camera quality is fire.
Yeah, dude, I bought a new one on top of that. I bought a brand new one for, it wasn't cheap. And I was using it and I was like, man, this is so much fun. I'm getting like cinematic quality. And then I realized I'm spending too much time editing this.
Right. That makes sense.
So then I've started to cut that back a little bit, not because I can't do it. I just don't have the time to do it. So what I do now is I keep it simple. Like I go by the words of Michael Scott when he said it to Dwight, keep it simple, stupid. Great words, right? Great advice hurts every time. And realistically, that's what I try to do. I make my videos as simple and to the fact as I can. So I don't spend too much time on it. If you look at my YouTube videos, the educational content, it's really simple. There's not like flares or it's not like drawn out. That's just a PowerPoint slide deck I'm just running through to educate people. So that is what I like to. I look at the things that are necessary, and you got to realize we are naturally perfectionists, right? When we're putting something out there, we want it to be at the 100th level. We want people to look at it and be like, "Dang, that's crazy." And I've noticed that when I spend a lot of time on something, it won't go viral. It won't go crazy.
Right. Yeah. You never know what's going to be the video that takes off for some reason.
And then if I just put something like 2 minutes in and I post it, it goes crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, it kind of taught me to not overthink. And that's the issue. We overthink. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tone it down, you know, just post it and see what happens. That's what happened with Dogface 420 when he posted that video of him, you know, just cruising on a skateboard with the ocean spray. You know that
I'm
that
trying to think. What is this video? I know there was the cranberry juice video that went
that
very
one.
viral. Oh,
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that guy. He was like, I'm just gonna post it. Let's see how it goes. It blew to like hundreds of millions of views,
It's
and then he got
insane.
sponsorship with Ocean Spray.
Crazy.
You know,
Good for him.
so I agree with that. Just don't overthink it. If you're okay with what you're posting, post it.
Awesome. So switching over to the medical side of things a little bit, what are you currently interested in? I know you're in the middle of third year. What rotation are you on? Do you know what specialty you want to go into yet?
Yeah, so our school does it a little bit different where for half a year, we go through several rotations all at once. So
Oh, okay.
normally
Yep.
people do like 3 or 4 weeks of one rotation, then they'll switch and they'll switch and switch. Instead, what we do is we go through one rotation, one half a year, we go through several rotations. So
A
right now,
couple and then, yeah.
yeah, I'm on psychiatry, I'm on family medicine, I'm on OB-GYN and peds.
Got it.
Yeah,
How do you like switching back and forth all the time? Is that hard to
pros
keep
and
up with?
cons. Pros and cons. You know, the downside to this is that I don't get to interact with the same people day in day out for 3 weeks
Right.
to pick their brains, but I get to interact with them for 4 months or 6 months straight.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
So, like sometimes I hate the fact that I'm going from an OB mindset to a pediatrics mindset,
Mm-hmm.
a family medicine mindset to psych.
Right.
Other times it's okay because we had a break in between. It's just pros and cons, personal thing.
So do you have to take a block of shelf exams after all of that?
Yeah,
So you kind of have to take a study for them all at the same time.
yeah, we study for them along the whole way. So in about 2 months, I have 2 shelf exams for OB-GYN and pediatrics.
Gotcha.
That's a lot of fun. So I like this version.
Those will overlap a little bit.
Yeah. The way they've made it is it's good that like internal medicine and surgery all together for the next block that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So pediatrics and OB-GYN, they do interact a lot. There is a little bit of overlap. And the way I approach it in my mind, I'm like, it's just a spectrum. You're talking about obstetrics and gynecology from like, insemination all the way to the birth of a kid and to the kid growing up. So if you think of it on that spectrum, it becomes a lot more manageable in content. So I'm doing that, but I think I personally, I want to go into internal medicine. I'm like, I want to say 80% sure I want to do internal medicine and specialize in something. I don't know if it's cardiology or rheumatology. I haven't, decided on a specialization yet. And I am lucky that I have time to figure that out later. But I definitely am wanting to go into a specialist position just because I'm the type of guy I like to know a lot about just one thing.
Right. You want to be the expert.
Yeah. So it's fun, but it also lets me be comfortable because you don't need to know everything about everything. You can just focus on that niche and just spend your time becoming really good at that and help people that way.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah. Well, wishing you the best of luck. Really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. What's one last piece of advice you'd give to any pre-med or med students listening, or really anyone else?
Honestly, my one advice I tell everyone is that don't be afraid to take the risks to do whatever you want to do, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, whether you want to start a TikTok, or whether you want to, become a doctor. This applies no matter what. We all second guess ourselves, second guess our abilities, and we're always wondering, am I good enough or do I have what it takes? And we do. All it takes is just hard work. Whether you want to become a doctor, you just got to work hard, okay? Or whether you want to do really well in any test, you got to work hard. Or if you want to have an account that has a crazy number of followings, it's just hard work and dedication. That'll get you to I say 80% of the way there.
Yeah,
the rest of the 20%,
that, yeah.
it's just luck and just nerves. That's how I break it down. So everyone who's listening to this podcast, everyone who's watching these videos, you guys have what it takes. You guys are amazing. You guys are phenomenal. And we believe in you guys. So
that's right. We believe in you. Love it. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Farhan. Where can our listeners find you?
They can find me on TikTok, where majority of my fan base is, at MadMedicine. You can find me on Instagram at mad.medicine, or on YouTube /MadMedicine if you want to learn about the educational aspects. But my social media accounts is where I usually do my stuff.
Awesome. Well, definitely go check them out. I'm sure you will greatly, greatly benefit from all of Farhan's amazing content. All right. Thanks so much again, and hope to talk soon.
Take it easy.